Hello, and welcome to episode 119 of I'm the Tigers, the podcast with an eye on the Telford Tigers. A little bit of news, can't say it's necessarily directly involving Telford Tigers, but yeah, want to share and have a quick discussion about. So, Jake Price, released by the club, getting on a couple of months ago now, I think. He's back, he's playing. He has joined Bristol for the rest of the season, so good luck, Jake, there. Obviously, exceptions being playing against Telford, but I think for Bristol, that's a really good signing. Should definitely support them in strengthening their D. I think the press release from Bristol sort of covered what it's going to bring. Experience, that bit of physicality, that bit of know-how. So it seems a really good signing, and wish him all the best there. In terms of Telford, 3 games across the 2 clubs for the past weekend. So we'll start with the 2s. They only had the 1 game on the weekend, and that was travelling up to D-side for a league game ahead of the cup final in 3 weeks' time, I want to say. Perhaps a little taster of how it's going to go. And how is the cup final going to go? Well, if last night, don't forget I record on the Monday, if last night was anything to go by, it's going to be pretty tight. Finished 4-4, went to overtime before D-side found a winner. So, the cup final promises to be very interesting. Perhaps a close couple of games. That trophy is definitely up for grabs, and it could go either way, last night would be suggesting. But, obviously, it'd been nice to have got the win there for Tigers too, but it's a good result on the road to have picked up something, and say, other nights, perhaps, you come back with the win. Telford Tigers, it was a double-header, so Saturday night up in Solway, and then Sunday night back at home against the Sharks. Saturday, 9 goals is, perhaps their headline to lead with. The bad news is Solway got 7 of those. Pretty comprehensive home win there for Solway. Sunday night, even more goals. Be 12 goals if I can count, but the good news is Tigers got 7 of those. A 7-5 win on home ice. Perfect summary for the season, really. Away from home? Nope. At home? Yep. And it's kind of like what we have been seeing. Away, really been struggling to pick up results, but at home, the results have been coming in. Close game at home, certainly closer than the night before. The scoreline would definitely be suggesting that. But it's the differences that we're seeing. I think also this weekend and last weekend, last weekend we went to Leeds and then played Swindon on home ice. And if I can count and remember correctly, so 2 big ifs there, we conceded 7 goals across the weekend. So that's against the teams who are 1st and 3rd in the league. This weekend, playing Solway, not in a playoff spot at the moment. I want to say 10th, but they might be 11th. I know somebody's going to correct me on that, but not in a playoff spot. And they are 10th or 11th. I just can't remember which off the top of my head. And we concede 12 goals. Just make it make sense. As I say, I think it kind of like just encapsulates what it is like to be a Tigers fan at times. I say no more on that, really. Upcoming weekend, so again, 3 games across the 2 teams. Apologies, just double checking the fixtures. So for Tigers 2, it's 1 game, and that's away at Hull to take on the Jets. And for Telford Tigers, the away game's on the Saturday, also up in Hull to take on the Seahawks. That'll be a tough one. I think, a bit like ourselves. Hull at home are perhaps a slightly different proposition to Hull away. And then at home on the Sunday, taking on Basingstoke Bison. Got to win that one, quite simply. Got to beat the Bison. Will be tough, but I think at home we've done well against them, and then travelling down to Basingstoke, it's all been pretty tight on the whole. Hull, say, a very difficult one, particularly their away form and sort of them being at home, but let's be optimistic. So maybe we get a point out of it or something like that. Question of the week, it's that old favoured one in 2 parts. So part 1, who's been player of the month for your team? So for January 2026, who's been your player of the month for your team? and January 2026, who has been Player of the Month across the league. As always, I'll be posting it on the socials. Get your answers in. Look forward to reading them, hearing about them, and the like. But in terms of this episode, that's it. I'll be back this time next week. Bye for now.